So let's just settle into our meditation posture and just check your feet and use hips are, they're hips width apart, sits bones are raised, shoulders aligned with the hips, and just lengthen your spine. Check the position of your head, and just starting at the crown of the head, just relax and release any tension. Just go all the way down through the body, through the head, through the jaw, and the back of the neck, and the shoulders, and the back, and the body, and the limbs. And bring the mind to the breath. And just check for any sounds in your environment. Allow them to be there. And then check your mind. See what's arising. Is it different to this morning or even yesterday evening? Just allow it to bubble up to the surface without judgment or criticism, and just watch with a level of curiosity and objectivity rather than kind of criticism. And just know that this is how you're turning up this evening. This is totally fine. This is where you're at. No more, no less. And also just remember that you are more, far more than whatever it is going on in the moment right now. So then just bring to mind some people of our life, these very dear and precious people that support and care for us. And then there's those ones who we find difficult, and then there's our strangers. Remembering they can change place at any time. But we're all equal. Our wish to be happy, our wish to be free from suffering, and in having this extraordinary capacity for an enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, for all sentient beings, for ourselves as we're moving along our spiritual path. And just remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity with our mind instead. So here we come to the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from our present suffering, any that we might have or have had, that we don't really want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret the anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think I am sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a radiant and beautiful face, and he has these beautiful long eyes shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful, full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has no judgmental thoughts towards you, sees everybody equally with love, meeting you exactly where you're at. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And there's this little section on compassion. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you've harmed recently, in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we have compassion for them because they will suffer as a result of the harm they have done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And so we start with the body. And imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar. It's coming out of a hose or a waterfall. Even you can imagine while you're standing under your shower, it's pouring into you, into the crown of your head from his heart. And it pours into you and fills you completely. And as it fills you, it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So now be delighted that any harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So next is the purification of speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. It arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip, the harsh speech, useless speech, careless speech, lying, talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you and overflowing quite forcefully. It's not just kind of dribbling over there. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe. So it feels so happy again. Your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So next is a purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a pitch black room, you flick on the switch, the light dispels the darkness in the room. So you imagine that when the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, instantly dispelling all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So all those kind of ugly, murky bits that we have inside our mind: attachment, neediness, grasping, jealousy, bitterness, grudges, depression, anxiety, insecurity, all of this stuff instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. They're gone. They're finished. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of even the imprints of negativity of your body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. So you can just imagine completely gone, just that last bit of smell, like getting rid of the garlic from a jar as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta miboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita miboa sutokaya miboa supokaya miboa Anurakta me bhava savasidi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve. It's the fourth and final step in the purification process, but a really crucial one. And this is the determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind, or to refrain from harming. And so without this decision, this determination, we're just going to keep creating the same old habits, patterns over and over again. So this aspiration, this decision, this determination to not harm again gives us the strength to change. And it's like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in different directions. So think carefully of something that you have been working on, want to work on. Anyway, rejoice in your progress. So think of that, really important to rejoice. And then move on to something. You know, if you've been doing something it's getting kind of easy and you've sort of seemed to have got over that hurdle, then maybe try something that's a little harder, a little bit more ingrained, or a little bit more subtle to your own mind. And just work on it for 24 hours. You know, not 24 hours, 24/7, but, you know, every now and then think about it and work on it for a few seconds or a minute or so. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So in this way, we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to us may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. Excuse me. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification practice to all living beings, all those people of your life, and to yourselves, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice, ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, O Tup Shu Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzin Kyong Pelaway Kunza Dog Porze Shog Sum Kuraway Leg Mon to Droop Pa Dog Sog Dulaje Gondu Jab Ten Shog. Lama Ursel Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindfully of a loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. Geshe-Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. Good night. Thank you for hosting, Michael, and anyone else who was watching the door. Thank you very much.